Hello, everybody, and welcome to another Toonkind at 12 FPS. My name is Wick, and this one is Re-Connie-Cilliation. I am joined today by the lovely...
Hello, hello, hello! I am Mira, and I will be playing Sammy Jax today.
Yes, and we love this one rainbow boy.
And he loves you!
uh, but, speaking of Sammy, what are you doing?
Um, he's... For the most part, he hasn't been dragged into any plot recently, which is a nice change for him. So he's honestly kind of just vibing in his gardening. And 1 sec, I'm just gonna roll. Okay, that is a 10 plus 2. There's like just kind of off screen, there is the tug. Boop! Thunk! As Sammy tries to pull out a carrot from the ground and falls over because the carrot decided to pop out when he wasn't expecting it.
Oh.
So he's doing fine. He's been gardening. There have been people visiting his garden. He's had a few adventures. The fun type of adventures. Had some feeling jams for the most part. Got a relationship upgrade with his brother Arata.
One thief boy that we love. But, as an aside, I'm just gonna ask, is there a phone? Does Sammy have a phone? Does anyone have a phone these days?
Okay. The thing is, Sammy did have a phone in, up until Simon Says, where he used his phone as a projectile bludgeoning weapon to try and beam over one of Sinclair's goons on top of the head off screen. So let me just really quickly roll. Well, he currently does not have a phone that he's aware of, because I rolled a 2, and but if plot so demanded, he would find out that his phone somehow was, he would have another phone.
A second backup phone.
Yep.
And speaking of a phone, you hear a ringing.
Okay, we're gonna roll again. That was a 6. Sammy pulls out, one of those old, kind of, the old landline phones.
Yeah.
That have, like, the curly cord.
Yes.
He pulls out one of those. It is, 1 sec, I'm just gonna roll a D7 just to see. Trying to figure out what color this is because I did not.
I thought so. As soon as you said 7, I was like, ah.
Okay. Yeah, we're just gonna. That's a 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He pulls out a blue receiver. Okay, I'm gonna actually really quickly need to write that down, considering the fact that. Blue landline phone. There we go. It's now on his fumble chart.
You just pull it out in the middle of a battle.
So yeah, he pulls out the receiver. The rest is stuck in his hammer space. And he picks it up and is just like, hello?
Oh, hello? Is this Sammy Jack?
Yeah, can I help you?
Oh, thank goodness. I didn't know if I had written down the right number. This is Connie, Constance Lane.
Oh, Dr. Lane. Hi.
And you hear a small chuckle over the phone. I appreciate the doctor title, but I'm not a doctor.
Oh, mixed lane, then.
Quite all right. I am studying for a doctorate, though. But that's besides the point. I wanted to call and ask if you were doing all right, if you were in the area. I do have an appointment open for today.
Well, I'm currently not wrapped up in any plot. I'm free to, uh, um, Connie, roll insight real quick.
I was waiting for it. Connie, roll insight me. Prepared to do this a lot. Should I roll? Should I use my dice or dice parser?
Well, roll with your dice first, just to see if it'll bully you.
Alright, that's not so bad. Okay. So that is 21.
Okay,
It's a modified 21, obviously,
I know, but with a modified 21, you instantly pick up the fact that Sammy is a little hesitant to. He's hesitant to go to your office. But he's open to an actual appointment. He doesn't know how to. He doesn't know if you do house calls. So he's trying to figure out how to ask that without going into some awkward stuff because he doesn't want to ruin your relationship with your partner in the workspace.
And Connie does pick up on this. So how about we meet at this little cafe for a moment, and then perhaps we can speak more freely there. It's kind of difficult to hear on the phone sometimes.
Yeah, can you just let me know where the cafe is and what time I should meet you at, and I'll see you there, McSlane.
Okay. And then me, who hadn't thought of like an address or anything, we'll just say that Connie imparts this information. And you are to meet in roughly like half an hour or something.
And I'm gonna roll survival to see how long it actually takes Sammy.
You can, if you want, you can roll it with advantage since it's near the office. Not too near, but.
Okay, first one was 10 plus 4. Second one, let's roll again. Okay, that was the same roll. I'm just really quickly gonna. Okay, that was 8 for the second one.
Oh,
Let's
no.
go with the 14. It's above average,
luckily,
so it doesn't take him super long.
Oh, yeah. Luckily, Connie's directions were not too difficult to follow. But it is around, like, midday, so there are a bunch of tunes about. But you do manage to find this cafe pretty easily. It's kind of on a street corner, so it is a little easier to spot. And I didn't think of a name, but
we can just call
right.
it the cafe.
Yes, it's yeah. My brain, you gotta name it me, but
we could just call it the cafe. It's fine. This is Toontown.
You know what? The cafe is called the cafe, and it's literally that.
Yes.
It's just called that now.
I have infected you with my terrible naming.
Oh, it's not terrible.
No.
Sometimes you need a nice basic name.
Well, no. I say terrible in like the affectionate term because
Terrible, affectionate.
I have the candy shop called the candy shop, and then I have the gardening store, which is called the gardening store. I have infected you. Cheers.
Here we are. So, you are now at the cafe, and you are free to enter if you would like.
Sammy is gonna enter. He's kind of he does. His shading is like a slight lilac, but like it's not. Like it's kind of more of a. One sec, I'm trying to remember what tinge of. Like it's a. He's anxious, but he's not scared. Like it's just like kind of like that. Oh, I'm going to see a professional for stuff. Oh, I'm a little nervous.
Yeah, I feel that. But in the cafe, there are only one or two, maybe three people in there. It's relatively quiet, even though it is near lunch. Mm-hmm. Maybe it's, maybe they just opened or something. But to the right, there are a couple of booths. And they're the kind that you can kind of see over if you like straighten up a bit.
Mm-hmm. Well, considering Sammy is 6 feet, yeah.
Oh yeah, no, you could definitely see. But you do see a little bear ear kind of poking out from the.
Sammy is going to head over to where Mix Lane is.
And when you do, they do notice you approaching, and they go, "Oh, there you are!" And me, yes, I get to post this ref. So
also,
yes,
Sammy has had a redesign. He's gone through a redesign since Connie last saw him.
I know. Me, who has seen it, Connie, who has not. Uh-oh. But, oh, do you want to post that in there?
Yes, I should.
Because I do kind of remember it, but...
Let me just get to the right channel real quick. Just scroll.
Which one are we on?
Basically, I don't want to post in the wrong channel. Yeah, this is Sammy's new design.
Sammy, my beloved.
He's got very long hair and a black cloak and kind of a gray tunic over a darker gray tight long sleeve shirt and black leggings and gray boots. And he's not wearing a mask.
And Connie takes this all in and goes, "Oh my, your hair is quite lovely."
Sammy's shading goes from a slight lilac to just a pink, as he kind of rubs the back of his head, and it's just like, "Thanks, Mix Lane."
And meanwhile, you take in what Connie now looks like. Rather than the usual red sweater vest, they are wearing a green sundress covered in white little flowers.
Oh, Connie, my beloved.
A little hat, and
Connie, my beloved.
and little shoes too. They have their same spectacles. But yes, here they are.
Wick, I love Connie so much. They're so cute.
You do also notice, though, I mean, because you guys are meeting face to face, it's pretty. You do notice something reddish near the neckline, as well as a couple of patches of some sort on their head and their arm.
Question: Did Connie have a patch visible on their head / like anywhere? Did they have patches visible the last time Sammy saw them?
They did not, and neither was this red thing too.
Sammy kind of pauses, and I'm just gonna roll medicine real quick. Oh, okay. That was a 17 plus 1. That's an 18 in medicine. Just him kind of just going into slight cleric mode, just kind of giving them a once over, making sure that they're not hurt.
But as far as you can tell, Connie looks fit as a fiddle. They don't really look too worse for wear. In fact, they're practically beaming at you. They seem very happy to see you. And even the areas where the patches are, they kind of seem fine too. Like the area around them.
Yeah.
So it's probably nothing too bad.
Yeah, Sammy's not gonna, he kind of Connie's not gonna be able to. Connie doesn't need to roll insight for this. It's very obvious Sammy's giving them, kind of like a once-over, making sure they're okay and stuff before he smiles, and his teeth are very sharp as he kind of just grins at you in a very beaming, happy smile as he slides into the booth across from Connie, and he says, "You look really nice, Mix Connie."
Oh, well, thank you. And they do get a little blushy. I must admit, it has been a little while since I've worn something like this. And they kind of just gesture to the dress.
It looks really nice, Mix Connie. It suits you.
And they kind of give it another soft smile. But they kind of clear their throat for a moment. I'm sorry. I looked at the gallery for a hot second. See a teddy bear friend.
Handshake.
Oh, jeez, that warms my heart. But
Connie, our beloved.
But they clear their throat. I am a little anxious to, get things started. But I did order this, and they actually gesture to the middle of the table. You can see that there is a small plate of cookies.
Cookies!
They do make some pretty good cookies here. They're not like mine, but I'm not going to. They kind of stammer a little bit. It's not like they're good.
Sammy's eyes are golden and sparkling as he looks at the cookies, just like, cookies! Oh, they're snacks. I wasn't expecting snacks, even though we're in a cafe. Snacks!
Snack. But next to the plate, you also notice that there is a bag in case you just want to take them and skedaddle.
Sammy's just gonna grab a cookie and just kind of nibble on it as his shading is now a more golden. It's a yellow shading because cookie good.
Cookie good. And in fact, Connie picks one up and kind of starts nibbling a little bit at it. And for fun, I'm going to eat one of the cookies I have over here.
Yes.
Yes, method acting.
Eat one of your props.
But
Sammy kind of like he nibbles, he finishes his cookie, and then just kind of like he kind of fidgets in place a little bit, and is just like I've never actually gone to a therapist before. What am I supposed to do exactly? I know you guys can help with emotions and stuff, but it's yeah, he's never done this before. He's trying to open up conversation.
and Connie nods understandingly. Oh, I get it. Um, it may actually be more clear if we explain it in the office. Now, I did want to talk about that. Um, I just wanted to let you know there have been a couple of changes. So uh, I wanted to see if you at least wanted to take a look. And if you are not comfortable with the changes, we can always reconvene elsewhere.
um, changes?
Yes, it'll be clear once we get.
Um, I, I guess, it's not exactly, with, I was helping mix Detective Plant with a case a while back when I first met you, right?
I know.
Um, I don't agree with their, how they investigate. And since you two share office space, it's, Sammy just kind of trails off and just kind of, he's just kind of, he's awkward. He's just kind of like, I don't know how to explain this.
But Connie keeps nodding as you speak, and then gives a small quiet sigh. I suppose maybe I should explain here then.
Maybe,
Um,
just kind of a little briefing would be nice, I guess.
well, and they kind of have this pensive look. Well, I can give a short explanation, or I can give a long one, or I can give a short one, but then elaborate if necessary. Well, what do you think?
Maybe a short one and then elaborate if necessary.
Okay. Well, I suppose to sum it up in one sentence. About Mick's plant, I had them evicted and I filed a restraining order against them.
Sammy shading goes sky blue. It's a good thing he's not like eating anything because I think he would have like just choked in surprise. And you just kind of blink. That sounds like a story, and I'd be curious to hear the longer version.
Yes, I suppose that does need some explanation.
I mean, I can connect some dots, but I'd like to hear your side of the story.
Well, and Connie does actually look a little bit embarrassed as they look about the cafe. Since, well, they are no longer in the office, nor do they operate there, would you like to go there instead?
Yeah, actually, that kind of removes all my real concern about the office, because it was a nice space. It was just more of them that I was concerned about, if I'll be real.
I have a quick question. Are either of Sammy's hands on the counter, like on the table?
I kind of feel like he's just kind of like there's at least one hand on the table. I don't really have I don't know how he's exactly sitting, but like he's got at least one hand on the table.
Well, Connie was just going to give a little reassuring pat on their hand with their paw.
There's just Sammy relaxing. Like as soon as he heard that Mixed Plant was going to be no longer in the office, the tension went poof. There's no more tension in this boy. He's a lot more relaxed now.
I can imagine. But Connie gives a little smile, and then points to the cookies. Should we bag these and maybe have them over some tea?
Oh, that would be really nice, actually. Yeah, I would like a cup of tea.
And Connie just goes and slides the cookies into the bag that's there.
Little to-go bag.
And they make a motion to stand up.
Sammy slides out of his booth and then just kind of offers his arm for Connie to take.
Oh, Connie will take that arm. And they say, "Oh, thank you."
And I guess they head back over to Connie's office.
And they get the door, and you guys are kind of just walking side by side along the sidewalk. And it's a pretty nice day out. It's nice and warm, but not too hot or anything.
It's like a nice temperature that's like chef kiss.
Yes. It is quite nice out.
It's been really nice. I've been gardening a lot lately.
Really? And, Connie looks intrigued, like, oh.
Yeah, I have a garden back where I stay. I've been growing veggies lately. There was I had to basically start over with when some plot skirt over my gardening, so I've decided to grow some more vegetables instead of flowers lately.
Connie kind of just nods, like, that makes sense. What kind of vegetable?
Right now there's some carrots coming in. I've got some heads of lettuce that are growing really nice. I'm hoping to plant some pumpkins later.
Oh, pumpkins. Wait, actually, you wanna roll some insight?
Woo! That was a 19 plus. Yeah, he has a +1 on insight. I can never remember if it's perception or insight that he has the +4, and it's always perception that he has the +4 in, so I have to double check always.
Well, actually, that definitely beats. Connie is trying to hide something. Just a reaction. When you mention pumpkins, they do say that is interesting, but you kind of see their ear twitch a little bit, and their grip for a small moment on your arm, their grip tightens.
Do they not like pumpkins?
Wouldn't you like to know, Rainbow Boy? No. Pumpkins are fine. Maybe. Anyway.
I am looking at you, Wick.
Funny how you mentioned those. But anyway.
I mean,
by now...
Connie can roll insight, too.
Okay. Oh, that's not great, but it's still above average. It's a 15.
Okay, with a 15, Connie, you look at this boy and you realize that as he's talking about his garden, there's a sense of relief as he's talking about it, especially talking about growing his own food. I wonder what that's all about.
I can guess. I hold Sammy so soft. But as you two discuss the gardening situation, there just so happens to be the gardening shop that is obviously beneath the office. Oh, it looks like we're here. And Connie kind of just goes forward to kind of lead the way. Since the walk upstairs, it's a little tough to have two people side by side.
Sammy definitely lets them. Sorry, I've got a mixture of hiccups. I'm trying not to. It was a weird mix of am I gonna sneeze or is this a hiccup?
Nice.
But yeah, Sammy definitely lets Connie lead the way because he remembers these stairs.
Yeah. In fact, would you like to make a perception check?
Okay, that is with perception. That is a modified 20.
Yes. You notice that the stairs have recently been swept, but you still notice on one or two steps there are a couple stray marbles.
Sammy just kind of squints at them. Him and marbles, man.
Marbles.
He does not
perfect.
Have a
Me rolls it 3 times. Alright, listen. I was getting good rolls and I wanted a shit roll. Let's go. Here's why. So, Connie is climbing these steps, but they are climbing very slowly. They are not a very fast bear. In fact, it's a little tough. It's tough to climb stairs sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
They luckily do not step on any of the very few stray marbles that are there. But they're holding the railing and they're going rather slow.
Sammy is patient because this is an older bear. He gets it.
Well, they're not so much an older bear as they are just really not cut out for physical motion.
I just mean the fact that they're much more of an adultier adult than Sammy is. What do I mean by older
An
bear?
adultier adult.
Look, Sammy is 19. He's technically legally an adult, but still.
And yet. Yeah, but slowly, but certainly you guys do get up the stairs. And you do notice, I'm just taking more of that perception, that what Connie had told you is most likely true. Not that you didn't believe them before, But when you two approach the door, there is only one name on the glass now, and it is Connie's. Previously, there had been two.
Yep.
And I'm just gonna roll this to... good. Okay, so Connie actually doffs their sun hat for a moment, kind of rummages in there, and takes out a pair of keys. Yes, let me unlock them. And you kind of hear a kerjack, and here we are, back home again. And they open the door and step aside a little for you to take a step in.
Sammy goes inside.
And when you do, you kind of have to blink a couple of times because this place is very different. The furniture arrangements are close to the same, but there are a couple added armchairs, and the carpet has been redone. There has been the room has been repainted, and there are soft-looking decorations. It seems a lot cozier in here. And as Connie had said, you look left and right and up and down, and there is no potted plant to be seen.
Sammy just kind of blinks, and he turns and looks at Connie, and it's just like, they didn't want me to tell you about them. I really wasn't comfortable with that, but what happened? Explain.
They don't answer right away. They go and close the door instead. But they still have the cookies in hand. It might be a little bit to explain. What kind of tea did you want?
What kind of tea do you have?
Well, we've got... And they go over to the kitchen cabinet, and they open one particular cabinet, and it's just full of tea. It's just a lot of tea.
Oh, there is just sparkles around Sammy as, like, he just kind of takes in all the tea, and then he just kind of turns to you, Connie, and it's just like, dude, do you have, some Ghibli Earl Grey?
Oh, see, I haven't really been in Ghibli in a while. And they kind of rummage around. But then they stop and they look up at the... Because it's got like two shelves on the inside of this cabinet. Just a moment. And they walk over and hold on. Okay, that isn't too bad, I guess.
Dude,
they go over and get one of the armchairs, and they start kind of pulling it in the direction.
Dude, I can help. I'm pretty tall. Sammy kind of walks over and just like, I can even kind of just give you a lift. You don't need to drag the chair over. I'm pretty strong.
Connie does look a little flustered. Oh, I just didn't want to bother you.
I like helping.
Oh, and they give a little smile. Oh, well, thank you. Yes, maybe perhaps. I guess a boost is easiest, since I know where it could be. And they kind of walk back over to the...
Okay. That's 17 plus 2. Sammy, I feel, easily kind of is able to heft up Connie?
Uh, I would actually say it is extremely easy. When you pick this bear up, you realize that they are very light. They're actually, they, judging by how heavy, I guess they are, you can kind of guess that
Made
they
of
are.
fluff?
Yeah, they're. Well, the most they could be is like maybe 20 pounds.
Oh, yeah, no, Sammy, like, lifts soil bags. He can definitely pick them up.
Yes, they're just much lighter than you thought they would be.
Oh,
And also rather squishy.
I just have to, in Oran High School Host Club, when Mori Senpai picks up Haruhi.
Yes, I know the one.
That's all of the mental image that I have right now. It's just Sammy picking up Connie, and it's just kind of like that blink, blink, blink. Oh, you're a lot lighter than I was expecting.
But Connie just got a chuckle. Now, the tea.
Yeah, Sammy definitely lifts them up so they can see where the tea is and stuff, and if they have the tea that he was wondering if they have.
And they look a little more, and there it is. And there is kind of a small canister of tea. It was kind of almost all the way in the back. But they kind of hold it aloft. I got it.
Sam, there's a very quiet cheer from Sammy as he sets Connie down. And then he just kind of holds out his hand for a high five because teamwork, yeah.
And Connie does give a high five, and as they do so, gosh, their paw is very soft.
Sammy's shading is very golden. He's already very attached to Connie. Please no.
But they set to work on setting up the tea. They have some of the tea leaves and get out a kettle from one of the lower cabinets. And as they set some of the water to boil, they place their hat on the counter, look over at the desk, which is actually the same desk from before, but it's kind of been like polished up a little bit. While this is getting ready, I suppose I can tell you what happened. But they make a small gesture for them for you to sit in the chair opposite, which rather than just a regular chair beforehand, it's a slightly nicer looking chair.
Sammy does go and sit down, but like he kind of like he sits like, and then like kind of just like pulls up his like legs, so he's kind of like just like he's got like his arms around his legs, and he's like just kind of watching you.
Story time.
Yep.
And Connie comes around and sits in the opposite chair. And as they kind of sit and they kind of settle for a moment, you can actually see that reddish spot near their neckline again. It looks like, well, you're not quite sure, but it does look like it has 1 or 2 stitches in it.
Did they hurt you, Miss Connie?
Oh, well, and they grow quiet for a moment. Well, I'm just glad they didn't hurt anyone else, you know? And
Sorry.
it really wasn't that bad.
That line. Sorry. Roll insight.
Sorry, roll insight. Don't worry, I was. Oh. So that's a 26.
With a 26, you that at least the what Connie said very much kind of like it. There's like, you know how in cartoons, like if like something like you feel like something like has like pierced you through the core, there's usually like an arrow that like will go and yeah, no, that happened to Sammy, and he's just kind of like, oh, is this what everybody else feels like when I am using this language?
But Connie does kind of, they could tell. Oh dear. It really wasn't anything major. Perhaps I should start at the beginning. In fact, what I should preface with is an apology. I'm sorry that I could not help you when you needed it.
Sammy freezes for a moment because he wasn't expecting that. Like with that 26, you quickly realize that he was not expecting you to apologize to him. He's what? He what?
Part of my job as a therapist to keep the safety and well-being of my clients first and foremost, and I had failed to do so.
You didn't know.
But that isn't right. I did know.
Sammy kind of just looks at you. Makes Connie, he's just looking at you. Like, what?
Well, they quickly realize, perhaps we're not talking of the same thing. And they continue to elaborate. I knew from the very first day that I moved into this office that that potted plant was not just a plant. And that mixed plant was that potted plant that may or may not be a plant. And that was my first mistake.
You just... There are so... Sammy just... he's giving me a lot of feedback right now, so I'm just like I'm just sitting here, man. I'm just sitting here, and he's
You gotta process it.
Sammy's processing this and just kind of it's he doesn't know whether to feel betrayed or he doesn't know how to process this information.
But while Sammy's a little lost for words, Connie presses on. I figured out fairly quickly. It's relatively easy, especially since well, I kind of have a knack for seeing things, as they are. But I knew that their mode of operation was to pretend to be a plant. So I thought, well, what's the harm? I shouldn't ruin their fun, and if they're using it for a purpose, for their work, then who should I be to deny them? So I played along. That was not wise. And at first it worked, but as time went on, their methods were not as, I guess, clear-cut. They weren't as proper. And, when I saw poor Clarence all locked up on that cabinet, well, that was the tipping point.
Clarence?
Clarence. Yes. Clarence Mitchell?
Would Sammy know this name?
They actually wait for a moment before they say that Laffy the Clown.
Oh, I didn't know their name was Clarence. Arada just told me their name was Laffy.
Oh, they usually go by Laffy, but no, his name is Clarence.
That. People should be presumed innocent until proven guilty.
I would agree. And I must confess that I'm not exactly innocent. You see, when you visited the office with Arata, and Laffy was there, and Mick's plant, and they kind of look off to the side for a moment, but you realize where they're looking. They're looking towards the other door that is on the far wall. I was in my office. I heard everything.
They took Bevan.
I know they did. And you can see that Connie has switched from being solemn to actually looking a little agitated. I was a fool. But I wasn't going to let that stop me from fixing things. When you guys had left, I found Clarence there. You should have heard him, poor dear. But I let him go. And I knew that was going to cause trouble. But I was prepared.
He showed up and really helped us later.
And Connie gives a little smile. Well, that's good to hear.
So for us, at least you didn't cause any trouble, but it, why did you not do anything before that?
Because I was under the impression previously that Mixplant was a professional. That was my second mistake.
Sammy actually snorts at Mixplant being a professional.
And and in response to that, Connie kind of looks a little sheepish.
I mean, I don't blame you for thinking they were a professional. I thought they were professional-ish until their methods, they made me feel sick.
Yes, their methods were much to be desired. And in fact, they actually turn to one of the drawers on the desk. They open it and take out a file. And they open it in front of you. And you notice that there are notes and pictures of that they kind of that they move the pictures away, kind of flip them upside down. But it seems to be evidence against Mixplant.
You documented everything?
Well, I guess I had to do a little detective work of my own. I figured out that they weren't even certified. They didn't have some kind of license or anything. It was terrible. I mean, they didn't even go to a police academy. They didn't have any kind of training. Now, it isn't too bad to do vigilante work, but you have to have some kind of morals and guidelines. But this was not appropriate at all. And as they're saying this, they're poking at the notes and they look at a couple of the pictures. So I confronted them, and I told them that they must leave. I didn't intend originally to evict them, but when I did confront them, they were not very happy.
No, I don't think they would be. They don't seem like the type to take confrontation to their methods well.
Yes. And as they sigh, they kind of, you see one paw kind of touch the patch on their other arm. I understand that they weren't very angry so much as they were afraid. You know, pride is one thing, but when it comes to doing the right thing, you have to set those aside. And they couldn't. So, I knew I had to take legal action. And they kind of raise up their hand like, yes, I had to do that.
Sammy kind of just, it's like, what were they scared of?
Oh.
Why would they be scared?
Well, when someone criticizes what you have been doing, and what you have been doing had been part of your whole way of life, you can get scared. this kind of detective work, and they're kind of putting it in air quotes, was their whole life, their reason for doing things. So when you upend that, it can cause quite a response.
It was their purpose.
Yes. But I couldn't let it go on any longer. For the sake of my clients and their client, who trusted them, I had to do something. So, I do have a colleague that works in the court system, and, well, I had them removed. And, now they are no longer able to, come by here at all.
I'm glad. When you're justice is supposed to help people, not it's not supposed to hurt innocence. Or even if someone's committed a crime, it he kind of trails off.
And when this happens, you kind of hear a small whistling, and then it grows a bit louder. Oh, the kettle! And Connie kind of pops up and gets the water for the tea. So I've got the tea. And they kind of bring a tray over for the two. Did you want any sugar or cream or?
Some sugar and cream would be nice. Thank you.
They give it a small nod, and they go over to one of the cabinets to get the sugar. There's still a little fridge in the corner to get some cream.
Mm-hmm.
And they head back to the desk. And but you can kind of feel that despite how cozy the office has become, there is still a bit of tension.
Mm-hmm.
Or at least on Connie's part.
Originally, Sammy was kind of tucked up in the chair, like in a ball, like just for like, oh, I'm curled up listening to story time. But now it's just it's kind of interesting because he's kind of curled up a tiny bit tighter, trying to make himself seem a little smaller if he can.
And once Connie has things arranged on the table, they don't sit back down. They walk a little bit towards you, Sammy, but not too close. That is why I wanted to apologize to you. And we won't have to speak of it anymore, if that is something you want. I did not mean to hurt you at all, Sammy.
It's I don't know what shade of color I'm feeling right now.
understand. It's quite a thing to process. I perhaps elaborated too much.
No, I needed to hear this, but it. I can. Sorry, Sammy's again giving me like a jumble of everything right now. So
Oh yeah, no, there's a lot to like unpack here.
yeah, no, it's because like there's also some stuff that's like, as someone who is with the plot of a detective, of a kind of vigilante aligned detective, Sammy has standards when he's on a case, but there are some personal things for him that can contradict his own morals, so to speak. So he's, because like this whole entire situation is it's it's like this whole entire tangled mess for him, and he's trying to put it into words and he can't. Because there are some people that Sammy would just prefer to see dead, frankly, instead of just justice being served. But at the same time, he also understands that you can't do that. You can't do that if you are someone who is pursuing good and justice. But there is still that dark part of him who would prefer to be jury and executioner for some people. Not necessarily for Mixed Plant. Mixed Plant just makes him extremely uncomfortable. But like it's yeah, no, like this is like basically just dragging up some stuff that he struggles with. So he can see why Mixed Plant would have done what Detective Plant would have done what he did. And so like he can see why they could be so cutthroat about things, but it just holds up my chaotic good boy and just yeah, no, it's just yeah, he can't really yeah, no, there's just like a huge tangle of things.
So, as Sammy is again trying to process all of this, Connie actually steps over to their hat, rummages, and pulls out a soft quilted blanket. Would this help at all? I know that I would offer a hug, but given the circumstances, I'm not quite sure if you would want one. So I thought maybe this might help.
The quilt would be nice right now. I don't know what Sammy just looks incredibly lost right now. I'll be frank.
And Connie goes and kind of lightly drapes the blanket over you, Sammy, and quickly goes back to the other side of the desk. Why don't we put that aside for just a moment? After all, that wasn't what we were here for.
No, I guess not.
So then they open a drawer to the right, and they pull out a different folder. This is like a folder, not a file.
Mm-hmm.
And in fact, they kind of clean up the other stuff and put that back. Now, before we do anything else, I do want to say that if you are no longer comfortable speaking with me, I do have a colleague that you could speak with instead, because I understand that things are rather dubious.
I don't. I don't know. I don't know. You're fixing things. You realize that Wick's plant wasn't good. Maybe we could try a little. I don't.
Connie does nod a few times. I understand. You don't have to decide right this moment. But it may be helpful for a couple of, and you can kind of tell a little bit of what is it? I'm trying to figure out. I forget what the word is, but they actually sound a little weary as they go. Forms, paperwork, my beloved.
Toonkind's worst enemy. Paperwork.
And in fact, they take out a few sheets of paper. Yes, in order to start anything, whether with me or with a colleague, we have to get as much information as you are comfortable with giving. There's the informed consent form, and then there's the intake form, there's the questionnaire, and they kind of just point to each one as they're explaining.
Sammy just kind of blink. At least it's not a stack.
Oh no, I wouldn't hit you with a stack of papers. Not literally or figuratively.
I just mean, I've had to deal with some cases where, because of international crime, there was a lot of paperwork involved. Guilt trouble, international criminal.
It kind of nods like, oh yeah, paperwork. But sorry. But Connie does get a pen out, as well as a clipboard. All right. But I will offer you two different options. What we can do is I can either leave you to fill out the necessary forms while I get the office a little straightened up. Not this, the other room. Or I can read the questions off to you and fill them in with your responses.
I can't really read that good.
And Connie just nods. So I can tell them to you, and I fill them in.
That would be appreciated. I've been getting tutoring. It's just big words are hard, and I'm pretty sure there's going to be a lot of big words.
I must admit, I tried to make these forms as not jargon heavy, but there may be some complicated terms. They pick up the first form. All right. And if you need time to answer some of these, please just feel free to stop me. Let me know. We are just going to start nice and slowly. And I'm not going to go through the whole... I mean, I could, but... Listen, there's like 4 different forms you gotta fill out, and I'm just like...
And, sorry, Sammy really needs, like, a comfort item right now, so he's just gonna pull out from his hammer space one of his stuffed animals that he has, and just kind of wraps his arms around it and just kind of tucks his face. Like, kind of like, you know how, like, you, like, for, like, a bigger stuffed animal, like, you can just put your chin on them?
Yeah.
Like, he does that.
Oh.
And, like, he's looking
what
at
kind
you.
of stuffed animal is it?
Let me look at his, I gotta know which one he has, in his inventory right now. Because, like, he has a few stuffed animals. It's, one of, like, a really pretty big, actually, turtle dove plushie that he has. Like, it, like, takes up, like, a lot of his arms, and, like, it's actually kind of gets squished.
Oh, okay.
As, like, he holds it.
Sammy, would you like to roll insight?
Alright, here we go. That was actually a pretty nice insight. I am still on my inventory list. One sec, let me switch to the right window. Okay, that was an 18 plus 1.
What are the odds that they also have a 19? So, I have to say, you notice that Connie is kind of staring a little at this turtle dove plush, but you can't really get a read on why they're looking at it. It's not like a harsh stare or anything, but perhaps they are intrigued or curious. But they quickly go back to whichever form that we are filling out.
Mm-hmm.
And the forms range from, oh yeah, what's your name? What's your birthday?
Mm-hmm.
Starting with the basic identifiers, and then going down to like some of the heavier questions, like, yeah, do you have like basically what kind of trauma do you have? I mean, nothing too detailed though.
Mm-hmm.
They just want to know you, Sammy, as a person.
Well, I feel like Connie would learn through this kind of filling out the paperwork. Sammy has been on the streets since he was 10. He is now 19. His birthday was a month ago. Like, a month or so ago. Well, it's been 2 months now since he turned 19. I can read calendars, I promise.
It's okay.
He also kind of just briefly mentions the fact that, oh yeah, for 8 of those years, he didn't really feel anything.
Me as a player. Connie just has a little to no reaction. They are just taking down the information.
Mm-hmm. And when actually, roll me insight for regarding Sammy's birthday and the fact that he is now 19.
So, speaking of which, that's another 19.
With a 19, you get the sense that something happened over his birthday, and he's honestly a little he doesn't say this outright, but there's the sense that he is surprised that he is still here.
Again, me as a player. Connie, not really reacting.
Just, oh boy, that's
because they don't want to they don't want to worry you or anything. They don't actually want to show too much while taking down all this information. They don't want to seem judgmental or biased.
Mm-hmm.
So they're just kind of just taking everything in.
Mm-hmm.
But the other sheet that they have, it is a release form, and they pause at this one. Now, with this particular one, we may not need it, but I did want to ask anyways. If it so happens that you would like to seek treatment with a colleague of mine, it would be necessary to fill this out so that we can exchange information across our 2 databases. Do you understand?
Sammy nods and is like, yeah, that makes sense.
And go ahead.
I'm okay with that. Just yeah, I'm okay with it.
And Connie continues speaking to try and reassure you. She's very nice. She's a psychiatrist. And she may be able to help in some areas that I may not have as much expertise.
Sammy nods.
But luckily, we're almost done with all of the forms. Me just speed run the forms.
If only we could do that in real life. Just training montage.
It's a paperwork montage.
Da, da, da. Beat music plays. Fill out all the paperwork.
But finally, we've gotten to the end of the paperwork.
Mm-hmm.
I will say Connie did take a couple of breaks in between to make sure that you were doing all right, and also because paperwork is boring. So sometimes you need to stand up and stretch, or just not think about words for a bit.
Mm-hmm.
And they kind of that I don't know how you they put the papers back together and kind of just put them in a neat little Not a big stack, it's just a small pile. Ah, well, looks like that is complete. Good.
There's just like the universal sigh of relief of paperwork. It's done.
Good. We won't have to worry about that. Well, you won't have to worry about that next time. I obviously will still have to take notes and whatnot, but for the bulk of the paperwork, that is finished.
That's good.
And they kind of just they put those papers in a folder, and you notice it is now marked with your name, and they put it in the they set it aside for just a moment.
Mm-hmm.
And they actually extend a hand to you, or their paw.
Sammy blinks and reaches out to take Connie's paw.
And they put their other paw on top of your hand and just give a very gentle squeeze. Thank you very much for being patient with me. And with all of this, really. I know an intake, especially for one who hasn't had therapy before, can be rather drawn out and dull. And also difficult.
Thank you for being willing to help.
And Connie gives a soft smile. Yes, I'm always willing to help. And in the ensuing silence, ooh, you mind making a perception check?
Oh boy, here we go.
Perception. We're nearing the end here, but
okay, that was 12.
There is one other little thing.
4. That's a 16.
As you are kind of in this, things have kind of settled, and you feel a bit of relief after all the paperwork and some explanations. But in the silence, you hear some footsteps coming up the stairs. And then you hear a knock on the door. Oh.
Are you
and
expecting anyone?
And they kind of look around for a moment. Where is my watch? And you hear another knock. Oh, I'm coming. Just a moment.
Is it one of your other patients? Maybe.
No, I don't think so. I was relatively free today. You see, I was wearing this for a reason, and they actually placed their sun hat back on.
Oh, is it? Are you going on a date after this?
And hold on a second. Hold on, wait. No, don't roll like good. Whatever. Fuck that for a second. Connie looks absolutely flustered for a split second. Oh, no, nothing like that. Oh, no. I'm having a little get-together with a friend. And as they say this, they go over to the door and actually open the door. Oh, I'm sorry for the wait. Oh, it's no problem at all. And as the other person steps in, you notice that they're probably that they're actually wearing some kind of sundress too. They're rather tall. They're taller than Connie, Uh, they've kind of got an off-white dress with a little pink ribbon, but they have black shoes and gloves. And they also have a hat. And they're probably around. They are shorter than you, but not by much. You're willing to bet they're kind of around Arata's height.
Mm-hmm. Are they Toon or Re-Kind?
You can tell that they are Re-Kind. They do seem to be human, most likely. They appear human. So. Oh, I love what you've done with the place. It really does look nice. Oh, well, thank you. Oh, I'm sorry. This is just a friend of mine. And Connie is speaking to you now, Sammy, and gesturing to this woman.
Sammy.
We were going to go for tea. Oh.
Sammy kind of just gets up to his feet from the chair and just kind of he kind of tucks his stuffed animal to his side and just kind of gives like a little quick bow at the woman, but he doesn't take his eyes off her. He doesn't look away. He who baggage.
Yeah. Does during this point does Sammy's shading change at all?
Let me just really quickly roll to see if he manages to keep his emotions kind of quote unquote under control. That was 10 plus 1. His shading does kind of shift to a lilac color, and he is holding his stuffed animal a little tightly, but he's not panicking.
But this figure does notice the change, and they take a couple of quick steps forward. Oh, how interesting! But Connie actually kind of tugs on a portion of their dress. Mildred, dear, just a moment. We were just finishing up a session, and this other individual, Mildred, goes, "Oh, I'm sorry to interrupt. I know I was a little bit early, or was I late? I never check." He's fine. And Connie actually very subtly kind of leads them a little bit back towards the door as they speak. Oh, yes, no, you are a little early. But you do know the venue, where the tea party is going to be. And Mildred goes, "Oh, yes. But I'm not interrupting, am I? Oh no, we have just finished. Is that all right, Sammy?"
Yeah, we can talk about more things next time.
But Connie walks over to you, Sammy, and I will say that you notice that they purposefully kind of have themselves positioned between you and this this stranger to you, and they gently place a hand near your arm. Yes, there wasn't much we could have discussed right now, but with the next session, we can most certainly get into the more important matter. Okay?
Sammy just kind of gives a jerky nod. Thank you for your assistance, McLean. It's appreciated.
And Connie tries to give as much of a comforting smile as they can.
Sammy smiles back, but it doesn't really reach his eyes. But also, you don't need to roll insight to tell he's kind of tired.
Oh, yeah.
It has been a session.
Oh, yeah, it's been a day. It feels like it's been a day. But, Connie does, that they go to, hold on. Me, I gotta roll something, give me a second. Good. Actually, that's a lower modifier. Okay, cool. They attempt to turn around to go and speak with this other person. They accidentally trip.
Let me just.
And they fall onto the floor a little bit.
No, can I roll a dex save to see if I can catch them?
Yes.
That did not hit my dice tower. Okay, that is 11 plus 2. That is a 13.
You manage to catch them in a way that they, like, kind of where their knees would like kind of do hit the ground, but like the rest of them are still upright.
Mm-hmm. Good. They did not hit their head.
Yes, but oh dear, I'm so sorry.
McLean, are you okay?
Oh yes, I'm fine. But as they go to stand back up, you now have a better view of this reddish spot that was near their neckline. Because the fabric kind of like fell down a bit. And you notice that it isn't just like a reddish spot. It is a heart shape. It's like a heart-shaped patch. And it has initials on them. These initials spell KM. Connie kind of gets up and kind of adjusts themselves really quick. Oh, I'm very sorry about that. Would you like me to walk you to the door, Sammy?
Sure. That would be appreciated. Thanks.
And they kind of give a little smile and hold out a paw, like, let's go.
Sammy will take their paw.
And as the two of you walk to the door, Connie says, Mildred, just wait right here. I will just take them back downstairs. Okay? And Mildred kind of gives a nod. And when you kind of pass her, she actually takes a step back from you and gives a little bow.
Sammy just kind of like, he can't really bow while walking, but like he does like give like that head bow kind of thing, like
a little head nod, yeah.
Yeah.
And so the two of you descend the stairs. Not as difficult as ascending the stairs.
Mm-hmm.
And at the bottom, Connie kind of Connie turns to you and says, I know you're probably tired, so I hope you get some nice rest, all right?
Thanks. I'm planning on going home after this. Probably take a nap or something.
Good. And with that, Connie, let's go. And you can leave.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Sammy's gonna head off. He has a lot of stuff to think about, my dude.
Uh-huh. And I'm thinking we kind of just pan out as Sammy makes their way down the sidewalk.
Mm-hmm.
And Connie heads back up the stairs. And, yeah, I think that's about it.
Yep. And
Ugh. Thank you very much for playing.
thank you very much for hosting.
And thank you for listening, listeners. I hope you have a good night and goodbye.
Bye.